Like they got some good production on here, but I just feel like the subject matter, I'm not here for it. I'm at the point in my life where I love rap beef. I like rap beef, but I can't do it for 48 minutes.
It's telling a one-sided story. It's a breakup, man. Like, so they having they split. Joey them got their opinions. They got their opinion. Since we started off and you already mentioned the Slaughterhouse, let's go on and get into that. I mean, because that's kind of how we left off last week, was mentioning all the theme, the turmoil that was kind of going in.
Yeah.
People look controversy or something like this, controversy sells. So they came out with those initial singles, Vacancy and everything. You knew what the title of the album was going to be, Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. And you knew there was both very good lyricists. You knew that you was going to get this, and they're telling the story at the same time. And you had the other two half of it who felt a certain type of way that they was releasing all this stuff and coming out to it, but they feel like they're artists. They release their other music, all the other pain and suffering that they go through in life. They release that on track, so they can release this on track as well, right? So with that said, I think this was skirting the line of a hip hop and R&B type of album. You saying, R&B, like how you talking about these guys lyrical and you talking about R&B? I'm talking about the whole album was focused on the breakup. So that portion kind of just like, man, that I like some of the content of it. I like other songs a lot better. I like Flood Waters and Brothers Keepers 2. Like those was the standout songs for me on here, along with their singles and everything else come on here. Everything on the album was kind of dope, but I mean, like those was the ones that like just truly, truly stood out to me. And it's telling a one-sided story. It's a breakup, man. Like, so they having they split. Joey them got their opinions. They got their opinion. I mean, I liken it to it like the January 6th people versus the Black Lives Matter. A whole lot mad at the government, but for two totally fucking different reasons, right? And you can try to figure out which one is right. One's a vote, one's a choke. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna get them on the same page, but you can hear them out. You can hear out their little complaints. You know what I mean? Is it stocks or is it the cops? You know, like that's kind of how they was like. So they in two different worlds. That's kind of how I see it. Like when they was on that live, you can see one one's like, we can get past the business, and the other one like, no, we can't get past the business. You know what I mean? So they was on two different sides, and it don't look like they're gonna come together and fight the one common goal or get an album out there. That's long and dead. So at least hearing this one side on here, I thought it was a pretty good album on that. But I want this to be it and dead on this topic for Crooked and JOELL. Like, y'all did it. It's released. I understand this whole little relationship type breakup type album. That's good. I want to hear new music and on a different topic next time. I appreciate this right here and what y'all did. Like, but I liked it hard. I liked it House Slippers. Like, like all the other music they came out with too. I like those as well. You can lightly mention this thing, but it didn't need to be a whole focus album like I think it needs. Like they came out with it. They did it. I appreciate it. Next album, come on, man. Give me something a little bit different. Show highlight your skills a little in another way.
Will you return to it?
Those songs, Flood Waters, Brothers Keepers 2, and I don't know, like it's cool hearing Vacancy and you hear about all the things, but it's not like a favorite track. The Backstage, once again, like those tell a story, and it's like those movies that you see, and once you see the ending, it kind of just tells the whole movie. So you don't kind of go back to them, but you admit it was a great movie, right? Book of Eli, one of those. Once you know the ending, you go back and watch it again. It's like, oh, okay, I see this. Like it's not the same as when you first watch it and it was a little bit of a mystery at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, to me, this Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse was something I didn't want to see. Again, like you called me out about it, but the more and more I thought about it, yeah, this is an album I didn't ask for as a fan of Slaughterhouse. Long gone, long forgotten about. I enjoyed their run for what it was, but I wasn't clamoring for this project. However, you give me new King Crooked, new JOELL ORTIZ, I'm there. Because like you said, other projects that they worked on separately and together, like Hard and House Slippers and other solo projects that King Crooked has dropped, I've enjoyed those projects at different times when they've dropped them, and we've mentioned them in text messages and get with each other and say, hey, such and such dropped something. Royce as well. So we in tune with the guys individually, and we like them for what they do individually with their pen. Their pen cannot be questioned and cannot be matched. But as I went through this entire project, I'm like, yo, this shit is 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I know these dudes can really, really rap. And I know they're wordy and whatever the case may be. But to your point, Prez, for it to be 45 minutes, 47 minutes, I believe, and then to have all of these, the breakup was it was too long, you know what I mean? And then for some of the songs that wasn't particularly about the breakup, you know what I mean, was just about like maybe loosely based on it, but they didn't really dive too deep into it. Some of it was the beat selection, you know what I mean? So when you get into that too, you know, I'm thinking they got to be fire, but in my mind, I'm like, mentally, I can't listen to this for that long of a time. And that's ultimately where it kind of, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm going back to it. I do have songs that I liked off of it. Coastin', Sorry, Brothers Keeper 2, and Still in My Feelings. So like that beat transition and Crook's verse on Still in My Feelings was dope. But again, like you said, besides Vacancy and Backstage, those two, you know, and there's some other joints on there. Like they got some good production on here, but I just feel like the subject matter, I'm not here for it. I'm at the point in my life where I love rap beef. I like rap beef, but I can't do it for 48 minutes of a whole project. And then that's really where it ended up for me. It was just, this is too long on one subject. And I don't think it was anticlimactic, man. You know, for me, you know what I mean? I went into it expecting a certain thing, but they delivered on the lyrics, but something's missing. Something is missing, and you felt it. You felt the missing piece. You know what that was?
What?
Royce and Joe.
Yeah, man. I just hope they don't. I hope they don't respond in turn with their own full album on the same subject. Like, do a song. Y'all can go back and forth on a couple of songs, but I don't know.
I saw Royce was on. I think the next episode of or one of the Patreon episodes for Joe Budden's podcast. So I'll let you know how that is. I don't have his Patreon, but I'm pretty sure they'll drop it because they just posted a picture of it. So hopefully they're not on the couch talking about it and podcasting about it. It's like, because at a certain point, then I'm gonna say what Crook been saying the whole album, rap about it. Y'all rappers, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And this is like the second, third time that Royce been in some shit the way he ain't rap about it. So,
oh man, come on, we gonna get the Lupe? Versus,
I mean, Royce? I'm just saying, like if that's what we doing, but if it doesn't, you know, he said something about his brand and all this thing, and it doesn't make sense, and I get it, but you got to walk a fine line too, because if you still gonna talk about
them boxes.
If you're gonna talk about who check boxes and who doesn't, then you know it's probably not best. But you know, overall, good project. Could have done with it being maybe 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at the most, with Vacancy
or just
and Backstage being a
couple
part
songs
of
on the album. Making it be a couple songs on the album where he spoke on it, but the rest of the album kind of gave people exactly something they can open up. Because I feel like if people go to this, they don't really grasp what they're gonna get on a Crooked or a JOELL project alone. You know, they think it's gonna be always about this. If this is the first time they hearing it, or this is the first project they lock into, man, they got so much more, you know what I mean, to offer, you know, the way they can structure a song and put it together, you know, tell a story, yeah. I just felt like a little bit of that more need to be highlighted on the album.
Yeah, I still listen to, I think the song is called Bad Santa by JOELL ORTIZ. That's one of the songs I used to revisit a lot. And that's like a personal joint because, you know, at the time wasn't seeing my kid a lot. you know, so they have joints that hit, you know, right in your soul. And he was talking about, you know, is his kid, is he just like the Santa that his kid receives gifts from, and then once that's over and done, he goes back to being shunned. You know, like, so they got joints to where they really be rapping about shit. So y'all go check out their solo catalogs. I'm glad they got this off their chest. Don't ever want to hear about it no more. Don't ever want to hear a hip hop breakup album ever again. Like, this is my one and done. I thought I like hip hop rap beef or guys getting off their emotions, but this is 48 minutes too long of emotions, man. Good rapping, elite rapping. Like they said, a lot of cold lines, in here, but that wasn't enough for me this time around.
And when we said House Slippers are hard, we know it's a bunch of albums in between that. We were just giving you how long we kind of been listening to them. House Slippers, and then all the way to there. And then I think Crooked just released another project like last month, right? I forget the name.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not like the biggest King Crooked fan on a solo tip, so I can't spit a lot of King Crooked stuff. Like, he was like the least person I was a fan of, like from the group's inception all the way up until now. Like, I'm not big on his catalog, but that's just me admitting it. I'm more of a Crooked fan with Slaughterhouse. Like, I became a bigger fan with Slaughterhouse, maybe right before Slaughterhouse, when he was dropping those you know, one song a week back in like, shit, I don't know what year it was, but he was doing that one song a week thing every Friday, and he was killing shit, freestyling, kind of like how Wayne was doing on the mixtapes. And then that's when I really started listening to Crooked. So I'm not like an OG Crooked fan. I ain't even gonna fake the funk for y'all. So, but yeah, good project.
Okay,
not for me.
A project, decent. I mean, I would say,
yeah,
out of 5, a 3, 2.5. You know what I mean? It was
nothing wrong with the rapping, nothing wrong with the structure, technically, and all that good stuff. Like, these guys are elite lyricists. It's just not where I was, man. Not what I wanted to hear, bro.
To drop an album and go on another big run. Wow, they about to leave us with a shattered house. I guess we'll never get the album Glass House. Shit, now what I'm supposed to do for inspiration? I still play their albums every day, check my playlist. I'm like, they'll work it out with a conversation. Then on Instagram Live, I saw the conversation, and it ain't go well. Shoulder shrugs like, oh well. They using words like suck my dick. Hey, why y'all go there? It's like my older brothers had a fight, and I love them all the same, don't wanna pick a side. This is more than a spat, this a family feud, and if they never work it out, then everybody lose. Slaughterhouse is that big as y'all supposed to get. I hate the day that's confirmed. It hurt me when I wrote it.